So I will most likely not make a title for this video. I will allow the ones that are meant to find it to find it. Did you guys know that we have been kept um, in the dark about narcissism and psychopaths and all these other types of individuals? They're everywhere, but nobody's talking about it. We wasn't told in schools. We wasn't taught in schools. We wasn't taught in church. We wasn't taught in our families. We wasn't taught in our neighborhood. There is many empaths that are trying to wake up. There's many empaths that are trying to wake up. So the moments they snap, let's say they are trying to wake up from this abuse, or maybe they are waking, they catch on, they catch up with the narcissist. Many empaths are going to go seeking for answers. And then when they go out there, they will meet these people who are saying that they are doctors and they are psychologists. And those people are talking about narcissism. As a matter of fact, they have been talking about narcissism for a number of years. Maybe not long, but they have been talking about narcissism for quite a good number of years. But even then, the things they're talking about are not making sense. There is things they're talking about are not adding up. They are coming or explaining to you the different types of narcissists. They are telling you the psychopaths, the malignant ones. They are telling you about the somatic ones. Even you're going to realize there are some books already written on this, which books we didn't know about back in the days in school. You will start to understand that there is something behind the scenes that they have been trying to hide from you. Actually, they've been trying to hide this from us. They have been trying to hide narcissism so that people will not understand who these people are. Because I've told you in my videos, guys, narcissists, they can only operate with sleep people. They only need people who are asleep, who cannot figure out what is going on. That's what they operate. One of the most shocking things you'll ever discover as an empath is for you to wake up and realize that for the longest period of time, even some of us until 60, 70, maybe even less, 50 or whatever, 40. I woke up at 40. You have not even seen that word narcissism. Do you know the reason why? That is because narcissism is spiritual. It can only be understood and overstood by a special set of eyes. It's only a few people that can see these people. So it is a spiritual thing going on. That's why you see it requires a certain level of consciousness to understand who a narcissist is. But even then, you're trying to figure it out. You will meet people somewhere, maybe you'll read a couple of books of people who are trying to explain to you who a narcissist is. But as an awakened empath, you're still going to realize that there is still some things they're not telling you. They will tell you some things and they will keep some things for themselves. So you're waking up and now they are going to leave you in that state of suspense whereby You are either awakened or not awakened, because they will tell you a little bit of the half-baked truth of who a narcissist is. One of the most shocking things you will see is that even the ones that are telling you who a narcissist is, they are the narcissists themselves. Are you guys following this story? The ones you will see, me, I saw a lot of them way back in time. And I don't mention names on these channels. You will figure out that those guys who was talking about narcissism, they were the narcissists themselves. So they will not actually tell you the real truth of who a narcissist is. Because the truth of who a narcissist is much more deeper than we think. It's very, very deep. And again, it requires a special set of eyes to see it. How can you come and tell a person? How can you come and explain to a person a narcissist has got a personality disorder, and you cannot explain to them the meaning of the black eyes, where the black eyes are coming from? These entities we've been dealing with, their eyes turn black. The people that are talking about narcissism, none of them can explain the meaning of the black eyes. And so many things, of course. For a lot of guys who are waking up, they're starting to look beyond the veil. So they're seeing all these things that only special eyes can see. There is people who will learn narcissism. They may tell them, okay, they learn some courses or whatever. They may get some certificates or diplomas in psychology or these other studies and everything. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Narcissism, it has got nothing to do with the psychologists. This thing is not psychological. It is not nothing to do. Yes, there is a way to understand it in a psychological perspective, but there is one way to understand a narcissist. That is a spiritual disease. So a lot of the guys who are talking about this thing, they only have the half-baked truth. Even some of them who know the truth, they are the narcissists themselves. Or if they are not the narcissists, then there is something they don't want you to know. So they will hide the other thing from you. Narcissism is a spiritual disease. And it has been here for years. For decades. There have been narcissists living on this planet for decades. This is a spirit. The only thing it needed is vessels, It corrupts a vessel, then it uses that vessel to operate, harvest energy. When that vessel is gone, the person passes on, it will move on to another vessel. And the cycle has been repeating for decades. Is the reason as to why you couldn't see these entities for more than 30 years. You are with them. They were next to you. You was with them. You could not see them. You was with the entity in your house. You couldn't see it. In your church, you couldn't see it. In your schools, you couldn't see them. They were there. I will not put the title of this video. The ones who know what time it is, they will find it. But if you find this video, you are either fully woke or you're trying to wake up. One of the two. So this thing is deep. I can promise you, ladies and gentlemen. One time I heard about, I had one psychologist way back in time. We're talking about 4 years ago. The psychologist said, oh, these narcissists, they're up there in the big places, in the big positions, what. They have a lot of power. Who doesn't know that everything is being run by these guys? They're running the show, you know. But as long as people are asleep, it's okay. They're running the show as long as the show involves sleeping people. So the whole thing is very, very deep, you know. You know what? Once you start to wake up, you will you start looking around you. It's one of the most shocking things you will see. The moment you start to wake up, you're going to start looking around you, and you are going to start to see them everywhere. Even the people that you never knew, you know. I woke up from a dysfunctional family system at 40 years. Even if I would feel there was a problem many years ago, I did not know what it was. I finally figured out what it was after 40. When I saw it, I walked away. You are going to continue to run into these guys. You will see them everywhere. They will be in the supermarkets. You will see them in the streets. You will see them in the buses. You will see them in the church. Those elders, you see, those running guys, pastors, whatever. A lot of them, they are narcissists. You guys who go to these churches, you can see these entities. They're inside those pastors. They're the ones running churches. You see them in families. They're everywhere. As long as they can keep you in that fear state. I've told you guys to break out of fear. Break out of that fear. Break that frequency. It's a spirit. If you can break out of that fear state, you'll have your power back. You need to get out of the fear. They are here. I don't say you should be worried about anything because you can protect yourself. But they're here. So for the most longest part of your life, it was important for them to keep you asleep. Okay? And especially if you've been a targeted individual, a lot of these targeted individuals, they've already targeted you way back in time. So they was operating within your parents. They was operating within your church. They operated within your teachers in school, your best mates, friends, relationships. So this thing was just keeping on following you. You just couldn't see it. It was following you. They was operating behind the scenes so they could keep you asleep. And that is how you've been asleep for more than 20 years, even 30, even 40 years. People are just starting to wake up, even at 60. That is because narcissism, it is a spirit. So some people don't understand this. There's some people who still think it's a personality disorder. That's what they tell you. Even for you to take a closer look at these individuals, you are seeing people who have never dealt with a narcissist firsthand. They have read about them in books. They was taught about them in class. A couple of them, not all of them, because many of us, we didn't hear anything in school. But even the ones that are certified, many of them, they're the narcissists themselves. They're in that industry. And many of them, if they're not, then they haven't been told everything. They have not actually had first-hand experience with the narcissist. They just have read about it, so they have gotten a certain limited amount of information. You see, when you wake up, you have the unlimited. You tap into the unlimited information, because when we're talking about something spiritual, we're talking about something which is infinite. It's unlimited. But when you have learned something in book, that means only what you can talk about and know is what you have read in the book. There's nothing more than that. So there's a difference, but this whole thing is deep, is what I'm trying to say. I'll not put a title for this video. For the most of you guys who want to learn, you will find it. If it's ready for you, you will find it. Okay? Drop us a comment. You guys know what I'm talking about. Like the page, share, and subscribe. You can always book a session. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I will catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings.